So it's Tuesday. It's the 19th of September. It's 10:22. Caught 10:20 here just before I started the recording. Gave me a little shiver. So I wasn't even gonna set this up as I was leaving the office, and then just the feeling of not wanting to do it is what kind of forced me to do it. I had pretty much the same experience yesterday. I just didn't feel like talking about what was going on, and didn't feel like giving updates, didn't feel like thinking about what I was doing, what I've been working on, just wasn't in the mood. And today is much like that. I'm feeling a little edgy, a little aggressive today. I feel like I'm in attack mode. And could be a variety of reasons for that. Haven't gotten any exercise for the last few days. Tends to make me a little edgy, irritable, and very similar to what I'm experiencing right now. sources that may or may not be reputable. I've done some research on them, but haven't really found much on them. What I did find is that there's quite a number of fees and money that's due up front to be able to secure that financing, which I can understand if you're going through non-conventional methods of obtaining financing, then So I've been planning on doing it for months, and the checks that I had for that credit card, which I had in my bag that I've been carrying with me because it's part of all of my business associated stuff, my startup stuff is in there. I'm trying to keep it all in one place, and so I've been planning on doing it for a couple months, and I went finally last week to go ahead and pull that trigger, write that check, and basically assume that debt. But it's assuming it, but the cash is still there to pay back if something doesn't work out. And but I waited too long, and those checks were no longer valid, so I ended up shredding those. And all right, well, I should probably be getting another batch of those then here in the near future. Well, they came on Saturday, so I felt relief, but I started reading some of the fine print on there, and it says there's a possibility they may decline a check. Decide, I guess that's not guaranteed, I guess. Which all the promotional stuff's like that. You can write it for home improvements, you can write it to yourself, you can write it to another lender, you can write it to whoever. Use your credit in whatever way you see fit. Well, I wrote it to myself and deposited it in the ATM on Sunday. And I know it takes some time to clear, but it hasn't cleared yet, so that money's not there yet. So I'm just I'm on the fence about that, and I'm feeling just a little edgy about having done that. Again, if it goes, it posts, it's in the account, and I decide that I just want to cut everything right now, and I don't want to move forward, and I don't want to put any more money into starting a business, and don't want to start a business anymore. I can take the money and put it right back on the card. No harm, no foul. There might be a little bit of an interest and a fee for the check, but minimal as opposed to the $3,000 that is there. So that money is going to basically offset the expense of taking the money out until we can get more money coming in, more revenue coming in from this business. So it's basically I'm buying time. I'm paying the interest on it and buying time. I'm allowing myself originally what it was for was to establish the bank accounts for this business, which I have not done yet. I still need to do. I was waiting to talk to the CPA before I actually did that, and now the earliest I can get into the CPA is next Wednesday. So it's just again, I'm kind of playing this waiting game. I don't want to make any decisions. Don't want to take those actions until I've consulted somebody, an expert, and feel like everything is safe, as safe as it can be, before I start doing that. And now the timeline just is I'm waiting. business rather than go on a vacation, but there's a lot of benefit to going on a vacation, especially in that transitional period, because if you're carrying over some burnout and some exhaustion from working over the last year, and I think taking a vacation once a year is absolutely necessary. As a matter of fact, I think it needs to be more often than that to keep yourself in tip-top shape, tip-top form, just like exercising. It has to be done on a regular interval to be optimally beneficial. Otherwise, it's still beneficial, but you're just not getting the best results that you can from that. And I talked to my parents last night and kind of gave them a rundown of what we've got going on, and they've been talking about wanting to possibly go on this cruise with us and trying to figure out their finances and if they can make that work. And they asked about it again. I did not tell them that I was considering canceling it, and I guess if it gets to the point where they're like, hey, you know what, we got it all sorted out, we want to go, do you mind? And I would very much like for them to go. I wish I could pay for them to go, which I just can't do right now. I felt good about the cruise 2 years ago that we took, and we were able to pay for their ticket for them, but I would like to do that again, but it's just, with all of this, it's just not possible unless something changes. So it's just a lot going through my mind right now, and on top of that, I'm still trying to focus on property management and make sure that I'm giving everything that I should be giving to my job while I'm doing it. And I can sit here and I can rattle on about life and philosophy and business and theory and status updates as I'm driving, but then when it comes down to it, I still have actual work that I have to do, and this is part of it. And having my mind bogged down with all this other stuff it's making it more strenuous on me to try and maintain this and that all at the same time. And I'm feeling mentally exhausted, feeling kind of wiped out, which I would very much like a vacation. And I know I've got the personal time, which is why I'm still kind of kicking that idea around of scattering in some days off here in the next few months and utilizing my paid time off that way, as opposed to trying to use it as a salary buffer period between leaving Boardwalk, should it work out that way, and this business startup time. So just a lot in the air, a lot on my mind, and trying not to get buried in the avalanche, just trying to surf this one out, and trying to keep loose and limber, focused, and just address the issues as they need to be addressed and make the decisions as they need to be made. And but we're at that point now. And I said it last week, and I think even the week before. Now we're to the point where we're going to have to start spending the money. The $3,000 check that I wrote to myself, that's debt. The $5,000 charge that I'm supposed to be making at the attorney's office today, that's another debt. And again, money hasn't been spent yet. The retainer is, with the exception of $1,000, is refundable should we terminate services. So if something falls through, the money can come back. It's not spent yet. It's just kind of in reserve. And same thing with the $3,000 buffer money and the account startup money. It's there, but it's for this business. And if the business, for some reason, we decide it's not going to work out, or we change our minds or whatever, it's not gone. But we're getting to that point now where expenses are going to start to accumulate, and we are going to be spending money and using our credit, which is not going to be returnable and could potentially put us in program. So anyway, I wake up in the middle of the night, a couple nights a week, and you know, when you're half awake and half asleep, and I'm like, what am I doing? I wake up terrified, and it's really mentally, it's just a lot. It's really a lot to be engaged in all simultaneously. So I'm really looking forward to a break of some sort somewhere in the near future, and I don't know, that's pretty much it.